This is the Broodcast, Inkling-style Discord chat, last Friday of every month. To join, visit joshuadavidling.com/brood. And now, Operation Broodcast on Poets at War.
We're lion, witch, and warded, yeah. Our imagination's running wild and free. In Middle Earth or Narnia, there's magic in what we believe.
Recorded January 29th, 2026.
I'm still listening to
so I stripped down everything that I liked about the original drafts of the story, or half drafts. I never actually finished any of them. I got halfway through and I was like, I don't like this. And I kept going back and restarting, as you know. But I just took all the elements that I liked from those other stories and condensed them into this one document. And I just did a brain dump. A lot of it is highlighted in red just because I wanted to keep those in case I wanted to use those ideas later, but I don't think I will. Does that make any sense?
Okay.
So, here's what the outline says. Eddie Small is having repeated nightmares after moving into an old house in Vermont. Eddie's father, Andrew, is an astronomy professor at the University of Vermont. You all know that. They bought an old house in an old neighborhood near Burlington. Now, I looked it up, and for some reason, I thought the University of Vermont did have an astronomy program because there's a observatory in Vermont, not that far from the university. Mm-hmm. I've seen it. Or actually been there, but I've seen it. And so I figured, well, they got to have an astronomy department. Apparently they don't, which is kind of disappointing. Because I could take advantage of that. Anyway. Old house. Eddie dreams of giant spiders trying to eat him. His father tries to comfort him by giving him a sword. Eddie sleeps with the sword next to his bed at all times. What makes Eddie so special? Does the stone choose Eddie somehow? Is his mother a wizard too? I thought that idea was kind of stupid. Is Eddie some kind of wizard? No, too much like Harry Potter. I highlighted that in red. Why is Eddie having these nightmares? Is the heart calling to him? Eddie has a dream about finding something in an old trunk in the attic. It's a rainy day, and Eddie's newfound friend Bucky has come over to play inside. The two boys decide to explore the attic, or the basement, of the old house. In there, they find an old trunk. The trunk contains a journal of an old... I use old a lot in here. Of an explorer from the 1920s, detailing his adventures, including a trip to a lost city in Asia, where the natives possess a sacred stone called the Heart of the Stars. They literally believe that it is the origin of all the stars in the universe. The natives believe that they were given the heart by the Star Brothers. The explorer steals the stone and returns to Vermont with it. There is also a photo of the explorer with his cat Zeus, who looks suspiciously like Fred the cat. It is Fred the cat, by the way. Fred is like 100 years old.
Hey there, Dante.
Hey, I'm just gonna lurk while I eat my supper.
Sounds good. Ian's reading some stuff from his novel that he's working on, so that's just context for you.
The boys find what they think is the heart inside the trunk. This is not a literal heart, by the way. This is a stone that is known as the heart. The journal ends with the explorer talking about frequent nightmares about giant spiders coming to kill him. Eddie and Bucky argue over what to do with the heart. Where do the spiders come from? And I went through a bunch of little permutations about where I thought I might take the story. I highlighted all of those in red because they all were kind of dumb. They crawl out of some kind of cosmic experiment gone wrong, something like the Large Hadron Collider. This makes the most sense given their cosmic origin. But what about Azariah? And I decided I was going to revive one of the older scenes where Eddie and Bucky are being bullied by Thorwald and Azariah intervenes. It just seemed to make the most sense. I like those scenes the best anyway. Azariah meets the boys, rescues them from Thorwald, and utters cryptic sayings warning them about spiders. Azariah grants Eddie a sword, which he says he must use in time of greatest need. Another day, Eddie and Bucky are playing outside somewhere, the park maybe, or maybe they're returning from playing in the forest, when they are confronted by Thorwald. Thorwald and his thugs steal the heart. Thorwald takes it back to his trailer. Eddie and Bucky launch a mission to regain the heart. Eddie and Bucky regain the heart, but the trailer is overrun by spiders. Meanwhile, one of Andrew's work colleagues, a physics professor, is obsessed with dark matter, almost to the exclusion of everything else. In an experiment to finally capture dark matter, he opens a cosmic rift out of which the spiders crawl. The spiders bite the professor, making him part of their hive mind. The professor then comes to Andrew's house, demanding he hand over the heart. He gets louder and more emphatic. The scientist threatens Dr. Small, becoming more and more menacing. Mrs. Small sees the spiders crawling outside and screams. Eddie, Bucky, and Azariah appear just in time to rescue them. Azariah kills the scientist and several spiders. I was going to kill him, but then I thought, you know what, maybe Azariah should just do sort of an exorcism type thing and drives the spider venom out of the scientist, and he becomes a more useful character. Almost like a eccentric professor character, even more so than Andrew. Where did I leave off? Time to rescue them. Azariah kills the scientist. Yeah, they take Eddie's parents out of the house and drag them onto Azariah's van. They all take off for outer space. Azariah's van is also a spaceship. On their way to Azariah's home, quote unquote, their power cells run out. They are once again attacked by spiders. Azariah fights them off, cutting them free from the web. Eddie shoots the spiders with a blaster cannon. They are quickly overwhelmed by the sheer number of spiders. Just in time, a drag ship appears and frees them from the web. Now the drag are reptilian alien monsters. Power cells quickly over the... Yeah, the drag are reptilian alien dictators, basically. The drag ship takes them on board as prisoners. The drag recognize Azariah and Fred as war criminals and decide to take them back to their high command as trophies. Does Azariah let them think they've defeated him? Using this route, Azariah escapes from custody, rescues the boys. They take what they need from the ship and make their escape with a space princess. The space princess becomes important later. Are the Drag terrified of Azariah as some great warrior from their past, a sort of boogeyman? Taking this route, they give Azariah the parts he needs and beg him to leave their space. Azariah and the boys leave Drag space peacefully. Taking this route, does Azariah meet one of his old friends from the war? Maybe another wizard? Do they stop for supplies on a spaceport where they find the space princess being sold at auction? Azariah buys the space princess and they take her along for the ride, promising to help rebuild and strengthen the Empire. The Empire becomes important later, too. Or does Azariah find the space princess working on a smuggler ship as an infamous pirate queen? She recognizes Azariah and decides to help him rebuild the star engine. They fight some more spiders and some drag before they reach the home world. They fight one more big battle. Eddie dies, but he is restored to life as the star engine comes to life. The Empire, which as yet has no name, I came up with a name, but it's basically impronounceable, so I'm going to have to come up with a different one, has been at war with the spiders for thousands of years. The Drag took advantage of the situation and conquered the Empire. The Drag are now at war with the spiders. the Empire have one of the other pieces of the Star Engine held in their royal crown. Azariah has to unite the two pieces with one another in order to restore the Star Engine, which I ripped off of Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal. Azariah's plan to take the boys to Great Eret, the homeworld, to retrieve the crown. However, it is now on the Drag homeworld. How to end the story. Blah, blah,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah.
Sorry, excuse me.
Basically, they unite the two pieces of the heart, and Eddie is restored to life. Everybody lives happily ever after. Thorwald decides he's going to continue living on an alien planet because his life on Earth kind of sucks.
I love that.
Okay, I'm keeping that.
That's like my favorite part immediately. It reminds me of, have you ever seen Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
I have not.
Okay. Are you familiar with the story? Very basic kids book story that they turned into a movie.
Not even remotely.
Okay, basically just a guy who makes inventions in a conventional town in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean on an island, basically creates weather that is food falling from the sky. At first, everyone's cool with it, but then it turns crazy, and the food grows giant and starts causing tsunamis, and he has to save the day. There's a character in there named Chicken, or he goes by he goes by Brent. He's baby Brent at the first time. And he is the town's literal mascot because when he was a baby, they took a picture of him for their sardine canning company, which is their major export. And so he's like this big over the top. He's voiced by Andy Samberg. And he's this big over the top blonde guy who wears tracksuits and picks up chicks. And he's like, I'm that guy who played that baby all those years ago. And his life is actually terrible, and he like finds himself in the movie after being a minor bully in the first part of the thing, and Thorwald reminds me of baby Brent from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
And then he becomes one with the food ecology and just lives there with it.
Basically, yeah, that's kind of what happened in the movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So.
All right. Well, I'm glad you like that detail.
What snippet I heard reminds me of Star Wars, Stranger Things, a little bit of the Inheritance Cycle, or better known as Aragon, and a lot of Star Wars, honestly. Because I mean, if you don't pick up a princess at some point along the way who is in some horrific situation, what are you doing with your story?
Yeah, there's got to be a space princess. Come on.
But yep, I'm enjoying the general arc. I think the only thing that's missing is a little bit I would want. And I don't know what it would be, and you can't force it. It has to be something very specific to, why is his name escaping me? Main protagonist. That's my fault, not yours. Eddie, excuse me. There needs to be a bit more, in my opinion, like I said, more of a specific change to arc to what Eddie's going through, some kind of skill or life lesson he learns by the end that really kind of ties things together. Like I said, can't be forced, has to be something really true from the inside.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about that since I started the story. It's Eddie's, his life is kind of cushy. Go on.
I propose this image in chat be the space princess.
Here we go.
To make things as strange as possible.
Okay.
Oh, that's amazing.
A flume? A flume?
Yes, obviously.
To be fair, I was on a coin flip between stereotypical blonde, beautiful girl and actual bizarre alien, and you chose it. So
See, I would like an actual, like, from the back, beautiful blonde stereotypical princess. You turn around and that's the face.
That's just Cthulhu with extra steps.
Yes, exactly. Maybe her name is Cthulhu with extra steps.
All respect to you guys, but that idea is objectively terrible, so I'm not going to use it.
it's
I didn't
objectively
say it was a
hilarious.
good idea.
It's,
Yeah, he
it's
didn't say it was a
hilarious,
good
but I'm
idea.
not going to do it.
Please don't.
It is,
Maybe
I'm-
Thorwald
yeah,
falls
I'm
in
not
love
gonna
with a
do that.
princess like that.
I actually, that was the plan.
There you go.
He meets her and he falls madly in love with her, and it's going to be hilarious.
I
And
love it.
yes, that's part of the reason that he decided that he was going to stay in space rather than go back home to his sucky life in his stupid trailer.
Right.
So he fights a
That sounds
space
great.
war against space lizards, which is way more awesome than being the town bully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that I could suggest as far as Eddie, at least you can start playing with it, maybe not do it 1-to-1 like what I'm thinking, but I like the idea you're just kind of at least beginning to play with the concept that he feels like the world is mundane and his storybooks are the thing, right? I know it's been done a million times, but it really does fit with the themes of everything else you're doing, and you can put your own spin on it.
Yeah.
It might be a good starting point.
I like that a lot. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Either that or I was thinking Eddie is just kind of a nervous wreck, and he needs to have an adventure to
Yeah,
over
the
that.
Richard Tyler from the PageMaster thing, yeah.
Yeah. That's that type of thing. Those were the 2
Mhm.
angles that I could go to. Let me write those down before I
Yep.
forget.
Has anyone
I find
here
the
seen
first-
the movie? Has anyone
Go
here
ahead.
seen the movie Zathura?
Yes,
I've
that's
heard of
where
it,
I got the
haven't seen
idea.
it.
Okay, I was like, space lizards, tyrannical kid from Earth who wants something fantastical. Yeah, this sounds like that. This sounds like the Jumanji ripoff.
It was written by the same author, so it's not a ripoff.
Yep.
So, oh wait, Zathura and Jumanji are the same. Have the same author.
Same author. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So
He was really good at writing one particular plot.
Yes, he was.
Happens sometimes.
Ever read Edgar Rice Burroughs? He only had like 3
Yeah,
plots.
no kidding. Yeah, basically.
I read
Also,
one
Edgar Allan
Edgar Rice
Poe.
Burroughs.
Something
Oh.
terrible happens, and it's ghastly. The end.
Everyone lives happily ever after. There's lots of blood.
I don't know about happily
Maybe
ever
somebody's-
after. Happily scarred after, maybe.
Or, buried in a floor ever after.
That's true. Yep.
That's happy.
So, Ian, did you get everything that you were hoping for as far as that goes? Any other questions?
I just kind of need to get a direction for the middle stuff, but I can't really talk about that right now because I'm having a crisis with my dog. So anyway,
Gotcha.
Good night all. I will talk
you,
to you
man.
another
Bye.
time.
Recorded January 30th, 2026.
Best. Procedurals are at their best whenever they keep their season short and sweet, and then they have an overarching arc.
Right.
And a lot of them just don't have that and drag on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
NCIS.
Give me like 13 episodes tops. 13 episodes.
They're the biggest tease because usually they create unbelievably diverse and eclectic and interesting characters and then never do anything with them. Ever.
Right. Yeah. No,
It drives me nuts.
I have a heart for the procedural dramas as part of why I want to write and one day make and produce the Midnight Accord. It is one of those shows I could.
But see, you'll make characters change. They're not going to be identical the entire way through because I know you.
Yeah. Because like I already have like. Okay, I know where these external changes happen. Where do like the internal side, like the internal stuff, change? Where does that change to? But like, oh goodness, the show that probably like did it for me was like Agents of Shield. They kind of play on
change a lot too.
On the procedural side, but then they also changed in their dynamic.
Right.
And like the group dynamic shifts and changes in interesting ways. And like that's an outward expression of the inward changes happening in the characters, which I always loved that. I don't even know where I left off in that show. I know I haven't finished it. I'm somewhere towards the end of it. It's Joss Whedon, man. Joss Whedon. Yeah. It's all of his like episodic procedural stuff.
Him and his brother, yeah.
Is it him and his brother? I always just thought
I think it's mostly his brother on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. specifically.
Huh. Interesting. I think he created the concept or something. We'll see. I don't know. But no, I hate that he's a piece of work.
The two what do you call them? He's also not there are worse directors who've been forgiven. He's not forgiven for dumb reasons. So there's that on top of everything. But the what's it called? The two procedurals that I have a heart for that where the characters basically don't change, but I still like them are Walker Texas Ranger and Martial Law. A lot of people forget about Martial Law. Did you ever see Martial Law? It had crossovers with Walker Texas Ranger.
Much Walker Texas Ranger that I've watched in the past few months because the guys at Group Home just love Walker Texas Ranger. I'll walk in and they're actually singing the theme song. It's crazy. They fanboy over it. What did you say the name of the show was again?
Martial Law. So it is it was created in the wake of the Rush Hour movies.
Yeah.
They were
I think so. That sounds familiar.
It's like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so they basically created they took that buddy cop formula with like an Asian character who knows martial arts and essentially did a show based on that kind of a thing. I think Jackie Chan had a hand in it, but he may have even cameoed on there once or twice, but like I don't remember exactly. But it's an LAPD show with a Chinese guy who basically is an investigator coming over. I think he came over from China and is helping out with stuff, and it's a really fun show. And both Martial Law and Walker Texas Ranger had some really good like organized crime boss villains that were actually compelling and had some cool arcs and stuff like that, and that made up for the lack of character change in a lot of cases for me.
Yeah, I think what could happen is if you're going to do a procedural drama like that, you really need to have, for like every 3 to 4 episodes, you need to have some overarching thread. And by the end of that thread, you need to have a measurable change. So you can have like the beginning of the arc, here's your status quo, middle, here's all the ups and downs, the adventures, and then the end, you need to have like a major shift of like it needs to be something. Like, not all the characters have to change, but one of those characters needs to. And the strong suit, I think, of the procedurals is like any little thing that you do change from the formula can be exciting and can just immediately just raise the stakes. You can do something.
They don't immediately, they're not changing everything all the time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
You have this super solid baseline that's really interesting, and I want to see more of this. I want to see all those character dynamics get fleshed out. So I don't want everything to change all at once. Otherwise, I have nothing to latch onto. But like, I want to see this group of characters go through stuff. And my favorite episodes are the ones where they lose. Like, they don't win. They don't. Like, that's one other thing I love about those kinds of stories, because like they get to struggle, they get to fight, and they're still gonna push through, but then they don't win all the time. And then they come over later back around to the same problem that got left unresolved in season 2, episode 4 or whatever. And back in season 13, like over in season 13, they can circle back and it's like, hey, we're more prepared now. We're more ready for this. We've seen this before, so we know how to take care of it. Love that kind of stuff. Love it. I've probably only seen, oh goodness, I think it's Daredevil. Daredevil is the one that I just, I love it. I binge watched it a lot over the snowstorm. It's probably one of my favorites. Yeah.
Did you ever see the Ben Affleck movie?
I think I have, but it's one of those that I just kind of blocked from my memory. It was like
at least it brought us Bring Me to Life by Evanescence.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's probably the only thing I'm like okay with that movie, for having that. Oh goodness, it brings back memories. Anytime I scroll past that movie, I just get memories of like early 2000s. I'm on my PlayStation, my PlayStation 2. I'm playing X-Men Legends with my cousins. Evanescence is playing in the background. Evanescence, Skillet, Flyleaf, all those bands. So
there's no such thing as an iPhone yet.
Right. Yeah.
It's just Blackberries.
Yeah, Blackberries. That's crazy. Yeah.
The QWERTY keyboard phone is coming back in some ways, by the way. There are some companies that are starting to make them again. They're like Android and stuff, but they have the full keyboard, like the Blackberries did. Yeah,
I think I've seen those. They're like the flip phones were coming back. I saw that.
Yes. Yes, with the folding screen and whatnot. Yeah, but there are companies that are starting to make the QWERTY phones, and a lot of people are getting excited about that. I will be, simply for the fact that if I do get one, I will be able to map those buttons, those nice clicky tactile buttons, to stuff in games, so that it'll feel more like a Game Boy when I'm actually playing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can actually map those buttons for playing games, as opposed to trying to play, old retro games on a touchscreen. I can play them on the keyboard. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. I have to admit, like, my ADHD fired off, and I'm like, I'm really excited to like read my story and hear people's stories. Where are we going? And
no, I hear you.
I'm being a bad friend. What were you just saying? I'm sorry.
I'm willing to wait till 9 if people are still coming. If I think that's decent enough, and we can start reading at that point if you're good with that. But I was just saying, the thing that's nice about the QWERTY phones, if they are made well and do start coming back, is playing retro games on them, because you can map the buttons to actual clicky tactile feel. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to playing on a touch screen with your thumbs.
Oh yeah, playing games on your phone rather than tap, swipe, up, down. blah, blah,
Right. Yeah.
button.
Because you can play Mario on a phone like this, you can make it run, but touchscreen controls are so not tactile. Your fingers drift, and it's just like I can't keep looking down at the controller.
Honestly, if they would just put the Apple needs to quit in terms of trying to make games. Stop. Just stop. Just put your.
Well, I'm talking play the old ones.
Yeah.
I'm talking playing Mario and stuff
on your phone.
Yes, with emulation. Yes,
Hmm.
you can do that. The problem is the touchscreen. You can't feel what you're doing, right? Because the buttons aren't there. But you can play it. It's just that it's a touchscreen.
It's such an inferior experience playing anything on your phone.
Yes,
It's like that's what a controller and joystick are for. Like that's
right, because you get the physical feedback of being able to do all. Yeah, exactly. So
like. I think I've not ever really been much of a video game player, but that's not because I don't enjoy them. It's because whenever I do get on them, I'll stay on there all day.
Right.
All day. Yeah, like I played, it was X-Men Legends, I think it was. X-Men Legends and any of like the story-based role-playing games where I got to control like a team of characters and have them doing things. If I get on a video game, I will be on there all day.
Right.
All day. So I haven't really even played with them for a while. And they're expensive too, so.
Yeah. I stopped playing a lot because of when you're the oldest sibling and you're taking turns on a whole bunch of one-player games as opposed to co-op games. You tend to become the scapegoat anytime you don't immediately get off for someone else's next turn, right? Hello, how we doing?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's up, Carrie? We got Broodcast tonight.
Oh, that's tonight? Oh.
Yeah?
Yep, sure is. What's going on with you?
Oh, nothing. Just packing up. We're moving out tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Where are y'all going?
Towards Lafayette. Close to Lafayette,
gotcha.
I guess is the best way you might know where I'm talking about.
In the basic, basic gist. You
going
got
like
somewhere you're
30
going?
minutes
Or you got some place you're going?
Yeah.
Sweet. Good to hear. I've been praying about that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah,
So, is Jesse with you or no?
No, he normally is, but no.
He got
was
something
saying
else going on tonight. He
that.
said he wasn't going to be here. I was like, he must be with Carrie. I guess he's somewhere else.
He ain't with me tonight. But I don't know where he's at.
I got you. Probably a church thing or something. I don't know.
No, if it was a church thing, I would have known about it. We do go to the same church. He was
That's
hanging
true,
out with
you
a
do.
buddy, but that was supposed to end at 7:30. So I don't know.
Maybe his
knew
buddy
too.
had him over for a while longer. Anyway,
Well, no, his buddy has to be back at the place he's living at 7:30. So,
why do you
I
keep
don't know.
concerning me? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wait, what?
Oh boy, I was joking. It kept getting more and more like, no, that doesn't make sense. No, that doesn't. This is how the horror movie starts. I was joking. Why do you keep making me worried? Oh boy.
Yep.
So, do you want me to go ahead and show what I'm going to show Daniel, or do you want to keep waiting until 9?
I wouldn't mind to hear it. I was kind of hoping we'd have a bigger turnout. I'm excited I can actually make it. And I was like, wait, where's the party?
Am I not a big enough turnout? Come on, man.
So I just did a screen share that you guys can see.
Hold on. I feel
If you go ahead and click that, I'm going to zoom in on this a good bit so that you all can see it better.
He will be joining us soon.
Do what?
Epic
Aaron
PageMaster.
will be joining us soon.
What'd you say, Daniel?
Aaron said he will be joining us soon.
Oh, sweet. So this is an applet that I've created to help me write and keep track of my stories. I got this. I coded this through Gemini, and it's been quite helpful. It's literally just an HTML page that I have sitting on my website. So it creates other HTML pages and can save and load them and that sort of a thing. I'm going to go ahead and hit load over here so you can see what's going on. Also, this works on phone. When you're doing it on phone, it just shows this central section. Can you see my mouse? Yeah, you can. It just shows this central section, and when you hit this button, it slides in the menu from the side.
Okay.
So, yeah. So basically, I hit load. I'm going to go ahead and load up what I currently have. That I'm kind of doing data entry to bring in all my what do you call them? All my poems and stuff. So let me grab that. It's right here. So it says loaded successfully. So over here you can see all of my worlds and stuff. We get Guardians of Atlanta right here. And you can see there's this indentation thing. So Guardians of Atlanta, and then it shifts right, season 1, right? Then episode 1, then everything in episode 1, then it goes back episode 2. So you see how these indentations kind of mark everything, right?
That's really slick.
And so if I click one, you can see it actually brings it up in the editor.
Dude, this is what I've been needing to interact with your stories.
Well, you're allowed to use it, and I can show you some ways to do stuff with it. But basically, I'm creating a master list of all my poems and stuff, and I can help you look at that later. But a couple other fun bells and whistles and things. Let's start over here on this menu, the index menu, this one that slides over on the left. You can do save all, and it will save everything you've done to a single HTML file. If you do save select, it brings up this little thing where you can choose which ones you want saved into an HTML file. So you can just do one poem, you can do an episode, you can do everything, whatever, right? Save as much as you want. Hit save selected and it does that. So you see how that works, right?
Yeah.
Then I have right here, I have text to speech. So
1. The prophecy. Reed Jones was a farmer. Just
So it
north of
plays.
Atlanta. A baby in her womb. A storm raging
Audio,
outside.
yeah.
Yeah, and so it does audio. It has a little volume slider there. Over here, the edit menu, I have insert an image or file, so it can actually insert an image or file and then actually save it into the HTML. I don't have any currently, but new doc before, after, or inside. Inside is basically like indenting it, like I showed over here. And then set parent. So if I wanted the prophecy to be in another episode, I could come in here and change it to episode 2. Right?
Whoa. Okay.
So
yeah.
it basically sets the parent document of this document that's currently in the editor's parent document. And then I just have a random doc button. It picked chapter 7 of episode 3 right down here. So basically what I would use this for is like if I'm just writing for the sake of writing, and I didn't know which one I wanted to write, and I basically was like, just pick me something random, and it would pick this, and I would go to the latest episode in Guardians of Atlanta, for example, and start writing in Guardians of Atlanta, right? So that's for me. Obviously, you can just do random doc for fun, and then just a little text size change. It doesn't actually change it in the outgoing document, but it's just for visually, dealing with it in case you're on a weird resolution screen. So
you could like program some. I love this layout. This is so cool. I really love
it. Works well on a phone.
Yeah, so you could have like an app where people could pay for like a subscription, and then
if
actually get your stories out. Oh,
yeah,
so
I'm
cool.
doing that a different way. I'll show you that if you want. But this is what it would look like more so on a phone to give you just an idea, right? See,
Yeah.
I resized it here, and you click, tap that, and it would slide over. Tap that, slides over. and it's nice,
Mhm.
you know, and obviously all this will go up once you bring out your keyboard or whatever, right, on your phone and just type away, do your thing, you know. So this is nice and wonderful, and I'm not going to be doing it this way for the actual showing of it, but I did create another applet if you want me to show that to you. I wasn't planning on showing that one, but I can if you want.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm already really enjoying looking at this one because, I mean, all you need to change honestly is just get rid of the edit button and then replace that with like a interact or upgrade button for other kinds of features. But
yeah, there's options and stuff, but that's not what I'm doing so much. The other one that I'm doing is this. Let me pull that up. This is what I'm working on for. It's better if I show you the actual. If I show you the actual prototype of the site first. So this is just a couple of my random thumbnails. But basically what this is, let me do this first. Hold on. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that first. So basically you create these things called channels. Okay. Each one of these is technically a channel. So it opens up like this. It just says, this is a test right here. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Aaron.
Who do we have? Aaron, what's up, man?
It is going okay.
How are you? You got anything to share tonight?
Excuse me.
Yes, no, maybe?
No, not right now.
Okie doke. So this one would bring up an HTML page that just says this is just a test, so I can put content in here. This one brings up, hold on, a YouTube player. It doesn't work because this is a local file I'm viewing. If you have a local file, it won't pull things from the web. But if this file was on the web, it would pull it, if that makes sense. But imagine a YouTube player right here is my point. And then this one is just some text that I put in as well. But the point is, you can have text, you can have a link, so you can click one of these and it'll bring up a new tab with whatever link you want. Or you can have a video, a link, or a bit of, like a page, like a web page, right? So the cool thing about this, go ahead.
Those tabs, these things almost make me think of like if you had your own website, if you had a bunch of content, like those could be links to different collections.
Yes, exactly what I'm thinking. So here's the fun, weird part. Down here in the left-hand corner, I have a little secret. There's a terminal. It's not actually a terminal, but it's a thing that works like a terminal. If I type in public, you'll see what I'm actually dealing with here. So this is what normally the public would see. That other one is actually behind a little paywall thing. But when I put in an unlock code, it gives me a cookie in my browser that unlocks the entire site. So this is what you would see if you had it unlocked, right? You'd see all the channels. So give you a better idea what this looks like on the back end. Let me pull this up. This is the Thumby Web Builder that I created. Let me put this in here. So this, let me zoom in, is how you would build this. You can put a background image so it's not just that black background if you want. This is enabling the terminal or not. There's a couple ways you can have the terminal activated. You can do this Control-Shift-T shortcut, or you can have it in a position. If you have it in a position, you can also create a little icon down in the corner so that people can see it or not. You can make it, totally hidden. And then you have your unlock codes that unlock the special content. You can make that terminal look however you want by changing all this stuff. And then you have your channels. You can add an embed, a link, or a page, and then you can select to hide it so that when you put in an unlock code, it, unlocks it for you, right? And so basically I can sell those unlock codes so that people can get the full version of the site, right?
Gotcha.
So that's what I'm working on, and there's a lot more to it than just all that, but that's kind of the way that I'm working on it. Eventually I'll have some tiers, for people to purchase and that sort of a thing, but I'm hoping to sell one-time unlocked tiers as opposed to subscriptions, because I think people will better appreciate that. We'll start super cheap, but then like as content ticks up and I have more and more and more, the prices will go up and we'll have more tiers, right? So that's the other one that I'm working on, is the Thumby Web Builder. But yeah, so that's Epic PageMaster and the Thumby Web Builder that I've been working on. The other one was like that terminal that I showed you, but instead of, I'll show you that one too, might as well. This one you can actually make games with, which is what kind of more of what I developed it for. But I haven't done a lot with it recently, but let me show you real quick. Let's see. Terminal. Let me give it an actual example of a terminal. TV terminal export. Here we go. So basically, it says click to initialize system here. So it's just for sound, but we don't have that right now. So it would look something like this, and you would have like a video player in this main area. And then you can put in a word like glitch, and I have a channel on this one called glitch, and it loads a different video. Right? So the idea is the way you would make a game is you would do like a choose your own adventure sort of a thing with videos, and you would present the user with different choices like left, right, forward, and they have to pick one and then hit enter, and it chooses the next video based on that. So you got like a choose your own adventure thing with videos.
That's so cool. Okay. Hey, Abby.
Right? What's up, Abby?
That is, oh my goodness.
Just popping in for a minute to say hi.
Hi.
Good to hear
Hello.
from you. You have anything to share tonight or no?
No. I mean, in my
Gotcha.
defense, I have been sick for like a month, so.
Right? You've shown up, though. I'm kind of surprised that you keep showing up.
She just
Guess
wants
you're
to be on
having fun,
YouTube.
right? She could be on YouTube easier by herself if she wanted to. I think she likes us. It's weird.
Yeah, you guys are fun.
What'd you say, Daniel?
I've been missing hearing about your stories, so it's fun to pop in occasionally.
Oh, that's nice. Well, right
Abby,
now we
you are
just...
feeling better, right?
Abby, are you feeling better? Daniel was asking.
What was that? Oh, sorry.
Daniel was
Yes,
asking
I
if you're
think
feeling better.
I'm finally over the epic cold or whatever that was. I'm still stuffy
Good.
though, so
That's
yeah.
good.
And I'm actually writing, sort of. I just need to
Nice.
concentrate and get the rest of the story done.
Gotcha. Daniel has something to share, and I was going to read Joel's story. If we have nobody else, I may end up reading one of mine too, but I was just showing off the apps that I think I showed them off yesterday, did I? Or was it Tuesday? Either way, just something that the couple apps that I've been working on making. What do you want to do next, Daniel? Do you want me to read Joel? Do you want to change or do yours? Do you want to have me read one of mine while we're seeing who else shows up? What do you think's best?
Well, I guess it's just me, you, Joel. Is that it? In terms of people
Me,
sharing?
well, but me if I need to, and you and Joel are the ones sharing right now, so. And I'm
Okay.
just reading Joel's forum, so.
Okay. Gotcha.
Somebody asked if I wanted to share anything.
I did ask if you wanted to share something. You said no.
I was trying to be funny, but yeah, I guess that's
Did you
fair.
change your mind? Because you can change
No,
your
no.
mind. You got
I don't
you got a
write
dead
stories.
raccoon you can show us again.
No, my buddy was calling me today asking how to skin a raccoon because one of his coworkers just showed up with a dead raccoon. So they threw it in the shop freezer, and he was like, "Hey, how do I skin a coon?" I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, my coworker brought a dead coon to work today, so we threw it in the freezer so I could eat it." And I was like, "We in South Louisiana? Yep, yep." Definitely in South Louisiana.
If I wasn't already familiar with you, Carrie, I would be concerned.
Yeah.
No,
by the way, the only
they
reason why-
got those glands that mess up the meat if you do it wrong, right?
Yep.
Yep.
You got one in the armpits and one in each armpit, and then one back in the pocket and behind the thigh.
Mhm.
They're the real bad ones. There's a couple other ones that are not as bad, but like the groin ones. But the groin ones ain't too bad if you cook them with them. I always remove all of the glands.
Yep.
The only reason, by the way, the
Makes
only reason why I'm
sense.
wearing this shirt is because we're moving out, and this is the only shirt that I didn't pack, and it's not free. I didn't realize I
There you
actually
go.
packed all my clothes.
I know how that goes. I don't know if I ever told this story, but last time we moved, I was literally the only one who moved us because Casey was pregnant and I couldn't get anyone's help, church or otherwise. It was kind of a last minute thing, and I literally ended up moving our whole apartment by myself, minus the couch at the very end. My father-in-law came and helped me, but I was I was dead dog tired by the end of it.
Oh, I bet so. I didn't realize we had that much stuff until we started moving. Because me and
You
Jesse
never do.
packed up like 20 or 30 boxes, and the house still looked exactly the same. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a long one. So I called in some reinforcements for tomorrow.
Yep, that's good. Glad you got some help.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Considering that we have our resident authoress lady, I think Abby, isn't she the most published out of everyone?
Abigail
in the group?
Falonga, traditionally, yes.
Traditionally.
I think that Ian and TK combined, if you did everything they ever published, are close.
Okay.
I've published a lot, but not in traditional
Yeah.
places too. So yeah.
Considering that we have Abby and my co-author here, Aaron, I think the other Abby just said she's not going to join. Considering we have both of them, I think I would like to share before everyone departs.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I am revamping the opening to The Maiden's Child. Whenever I had written it before, I got a lot of feedback that it was rather depressing, and it was like needlessly depressing. And I finally had time over the snowstorm to write something out. We'll just
I had
see
my
how this
Abbeys mixed up earlier, by the way. That was why I said you keep showing up.
What? What?
I was wondering. Okay. Because I haven't been here in a while. Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What opening was needlessly depressing?
The opening I had, so the original opening had Katira rushing into her a woman's house to help resolve a crisis. Things go awry. The mother doesn't make it, and then it was very sad and somber and tragic. Revamping it to kind of get a better voice, a better start here. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. So, as the women walked further down the narrow street, the smell of salt water, the laughter of the smell of salt water, the laughter of children, and the calls of the women chasing after them filled the air. Today was a good day. Katira was resolved to make Sophia agree with that sentiment, even if she hadn't planned on it already. Okay. It should be said, Katira paused. Sorry. I'm doing the whole thing where I get like anxious and stuff. I need to just read and
slow down and read.
Yep. It should be said, Katira paused as she adjusted her grip on the young mother's arm. This wasn't my idea. Katira spoke softly before coughing violently. Too many patients. I need to slow down before I become impatient myself. I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. This wasn't my idea. Katira spoke softly before coughing violently. It was her idea. She lied. Katira, it was her idea. She lied. Could it really be called lying if it's a really helpful one? Katira's mind drifted before returning to the present. She'd grown far too accustomed to bending the truth for her clients. She found more success in surprise outing. She'd grown far too accustomed to bending the truth for her clients. She found far more success in surprise outings if they were planned out ahead of time. The women walked together at a comfortable pace through the garden. Katira supported Sophia with a gentle hand on her back and holding her hand in hers. The lilies were blossoming at last. The smell of meat and spices floated through the air and from the nearby market. I'll need more herbs, she reminded herself. A sudden gasp drew Katira's attention back to the present. Repeated that phrase. Gonna fix that. Sophia's breaths became suddenly hitched and shallow. Let's take a break here. Let's take a break here, Katira said, failing to conceal her. It's fine. Am I not employing you? I'm fine. We march on. I need insert pastry. You need pastry name here. What you need is rest. A sharp sting of heat. We march on. Then Katira. What you need is rest. Sharp sting of pain and heat and of heat and misery shot up Katira's arm. She pinched me. She actually pinched me. If she wasn't pregnant, Katira would have tripped her. Hell, she was still carefully considering it. Just carefully. She settled for a dark look. This is raw cookie dough writing.
Yeah.
Raw cookie dough type of writing here. So she settled for a grim look. The women locked eyes for a brief moment. Sophia. Oh, what? That's non sequitur. It's fine. I'm just gonna skip that line. Katira looks back at the woman. Oh, I just repeated a line. That's where it was. Okay, I'm sorry.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, sweetie.
If Katira was not pregnant, if she wasn't pregnant, she being Sophia, Katira would have tripled. Hell, she was still carefully considering it. She settled for a grim look instead. The women locked eyes for a brief moment. The sisters did not prepare me for you. I'm not sure that's possible. Sophia gasped, delighted. You are bad. Come on now. And then back to Katira. Come on now. We need to get to Brother Braun before he closes up shop. Katira forced herself to slow to a safer pace for Sophia. Katira forced herself to slow to a safer place for Sophia. That man disturbs me. Why must we go to him again? Sophia squirmed. He is rose oil, sage, an assortment of other things we need, and many things we do not. You just want to shop. I never said I didn't have ulterior motives, Katira chuckled. The women continued walking towards the market, breathing in tandem as they practiced for weeks up to this point. The sound of music grew louder, the smells of fresh meats and something sweet filled the air, or however I need to say that. Sophia's voice trailed off about something unimportant. Katira acknowledged her verbally, though ignoring her in every other way that mattered. The sound of a harp and a man's voice drifted through the air like a feather falling. Time slowed for a moment. Katira felt a sudden rush of heat, a sudden rush of memories overtake her. She knew the song. It had been years since she had heard it, but it was unmistakable. Oh, she knew that voice. She knew that voice. It was far deeper than she remembered, though. Liam. Oh, Liam. Why here? Why today? Katira adjusted her headscarf and returned her attention to the mother at her side. Sophia was staring now, obviously worried. A gentle hand touched Katira's shoulder. You all right, dear? No, I don't think I am. The honesty surprised Katira. She's used to being far more professional. No, I'm sorry. I'll be all right. Sophia's head tilted. The woman stood there for a moment. It's a man, isn't it? It always is. Tell me. That would hardly be appropriate. We should keep going. The noises from the market continued to grow louder. If we must, she relented, Sophia relented, obviously disappointed. A group of children ran past, a group of boys playing with sticks. Their shoes clattered over the cobblestones. An older woman chased after the boys. An older girl chased after the boys. A pair of young men haggled a merchant. A Rodarian woman in an elaborate assortment of green silks and gold jewelry. Sorry, I just used the wrong preposition there. I gotta. Okay, there. If we must, Sophia relented. A group of children ran past, a group of boys fighting with sticks. Their shoes clattered over the cobblestones. An older girl chased after the boys. A pair of young men haggled a merchant. Over in the to their left, a Rodarian woman in an elaborate assortment of green silks and gold jewelry tended to a handcrafted basket. The market was full today. Good sign. The street had a slight curve to it. The woman followed it past merchant booths, while another pair of men carried a large basket. Sophia flinched as they dropped the goods over the ground. Apologies, ladies, the short man rasped. As he gathered what appeared to be a collection of small wooden game pieces. Katira bowed respectfully before ushering Sophia past them. I'm just going to have to change your name because I keep saying Sophia and I like it. Anyway, before ushering Sophia safely past the men. A young girl abruptly wiggled her way between Katira and Sophia. Their names now that I say them next to each other. Anyway, Katira and Sophia, a young girl, abruptly wiggled her way between Katira and Sophia. I gonna get ya, she screamed, her sentences missing as many syllables as she was missing teeth. The women chuckled as they watched her chase after the two boys with swords. The boys attempted in vain to defend against her onslaught. Thwack! A small twig hit a boy squarely in the forehead. The women flinched. Hey, that's not fair, he whined. That's the point, she replied. The boys looked to the older girl with them, begging for mercy, and begging for assistance, whatever the best word would be there. Begging. Maybe just, begging, let's say. The boys looked to the older girl with them, begging. She took a moment before she replied, you may need to start running. And then next scene. But that's all I have so far. Raw cookie dough.
Okay.
I like the general idea of the scene setting a lot more than what you had before, considering everything that you're wanting to do and how this would set the tone.
Yeah. I mean, I do like the idea of a successful birth to start. One that doesn't end in tragedy to start it.
Yeah.
And let's see. I can add a few of those extra names you were looking for. Like I can think of a pastry name. and it was. I was trying to follow along by reading it because it's hard to get the real structure of the writing with the way you read it, but it doesn't seem like there's any big problems with the writing. It seems good to continue on from there. And if they're supposed to be passing by Liam singing, it would probably be good to have a bit of the lyrics he's singing in there.
Right, yeah. So I was kind of leaving that open, but I kind of want it to be like she can hear it, so she's bracing herself, because as she gets further into the marketplace, she's going to hear him more, and there might be a slight interaction there. I just haven't quite worked out the details. Like, I do want them to walk past each other, or she's going to walk past the tavern he's in playing.
Yeah, so I think I like the scene. I think the only feedback I have is that you have a line in there like, "Oh, was it a man? It's always a man," or something like that. I hate those lines. Women don't talk like that.
Okay, what should I say rather? Because I kind of that was a throwaway thing. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Because, like, I want her to, like, kind of, I don't know, what evidence would she have had to make that assertion? I don't know. Probably nothing.
Yeah, or she could just, she can ask, like, what was it? You seemed disturbed by something. Is there anything wrong? I don't know. Or, like, hey, what's going on? Whatever. It doesn't really have to be anything.
Yeah.
Unless you want to build something else into their relationship, like a shared reference to something, or a question about what they're shopping for, or something like that. Like, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. I kind of, because if I do this, I'm establishing she's either really presumptuous or really nosy. Already, like, it wouldn't just be. Okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
It could be a friendly question about, like, hey, what's wrong? Because I think that works. But yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to go now.
All right, we'll see you soon, Abby. Thanks for coming.
It's been fun to check in again. Bye.
Yep.
Bye. Thanks for the help.
See you soon. All right.
Okay.
Well, we need to read Joel's story.
You have any other feedback, Josh?
On that, not specifically, like I said, I think it's just a better overall scene to be doing, showing what normal life is like.
Right.
Right up front. So you're establishing a baseline for everything else to come. I do still like the idea of having a really hard scene that is disconnected from the main quest in some kind of way, to show that even in this somewhat idyllic world that you're setting up, there can still be, especially in her profession, moments of absolute dread and just bad stuff happening, even apart from her eventual quest. So
I definitely want that. Is like, I want there to be, I'm not sure where that fits with the structure so far, rather than, like, you could maybe show is like, we're on this path right now because that's who is alive, right? Like, this is who's alive. So you could show I could show the branching path of, it takes a while to get here. It takes a while to be able to walk that line between life and death effectively enough to actually keep
Right.
people on the positive side. So her apprenticeship and her learning process is probably going to be marked with a lot of failure up to this point. So she's learned some things, and I wanted to infer that with her lying to her clients and kind of pondering, how much do I need to tell you? How much do I keep to myself, because I don't want to tell you something and it come back to bite me. That's a lesson she's learned, is like, I don't want tell you something is going to happen in the positive and then it happen in the negative, because like now you hate me. Now you hate me. Now we don't have rapport. Now you're wanting a new midwife. Now I can't work with you. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let me get this set up in a way that hopefully people can see, and I'll also give you a link to the document.
I wanted to make. I could not for the life of me phrase the opening line. I wrote this, and I was like, wait, this actually works better. And I could not make it punchier, and I could not figure out how to make it like syntax and read it effectively. It just would not come out. I see it though. The opening section, the opening little paragraph is, as the women walked further down the narrow. What? I hate it. I hate reading out loud. As the women walked further down the narrow street, the smell of salt water. Well, the laughter of children? Is it the laughter of children? Hey,
Probably.
Brendan.
What's up, dude?
I am dark. What the heck? What's light? Figure it out. Oh my gosh, this is so
I
bad.
made a new opening to the Maiden's Child, and you missed it, and it's actually happy this time.
Hello, my name is Brendan, and welcome to my unboxing video. This is a 6-foot folding table.
Oh man!
Hang on, let's get into it. What's going on? Normally, this is better with light. What's going on?
Oh goodness!
Is this still dark? Right now, it's fine. What the heck is your problem? Anyway, yes. So I have a folding table now.
Line, Brendan, for my book, and I've written about 30. This is. I'm thinking this can't be too long of a chapter, but I've gotten about a third of it done so far. Maybe if I'm only doing 6. Yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to get this opening sentence structured correctly because it's boggling my mind. And so I have, as the women walked further down the narrow street, the smell of salt water, the laughter of children, and the calls of the women chasing after them filled the air. Today was a good day. Katira was resolved to make. Today was a good day. Katira was resolved to make Sophia agree with that sentiment, even if she hadn't planned to already. Does that make sense?
It does, but it's clunky because you're also crushing together a whole lot of stuff into each sentence rather than making it more sentences.
Thank you. That's what I thought I was doing. I just could not put that into words. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's that. There's also, you use the word women twice in referring to two different groups of people.
Wait, did I?
Yes, the women walking by making noises and the women that are part of your story.
You said women, meaning Katira's company, and then women, meaning the people chasing after the kids. And that's two different groups of people, and you refer to them both as women, which is fine because technically it's correct. However, when you are talking, that creates confusion.
Yes.
Okay, wait. So I'm struggling to see the two women.
So the first one is when they're walking along.
Reread your first sentence.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, it's right there. I had to physically space them out so I could see it. Okay. As in the
It's better to not use as in that situation too. You can just say the morning stuff happened. All the sounds, all the ambiance, the stuff that you're trying to say. This happened, that happened, that happened. 3 different sentences. Right?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think that's a better way of doing it than as this, that, and the other happened. You say, this happened, that happened, the other happened. It was a good day. Right? Or what, however, you see what I'm saying?
Yep. Okay. Hold up. I can say this.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
You started
work,
off.
Huh?
How was work?
It dragged on forever.
Ain't nobody got time for Hobby Lobby?
No, it's fine. It's just it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Gotcha.
I am tired. Then have a nap. Then fire the missiles.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Wow, I hadn't heard that one in a while.
It's been a hot minute. I mean, it's fine. We're fine. Everything, realistically speaking, everything is fine. It was a long week because it was a weird week because of all of the snowstorm weather.
Yeah.
And today it was a whole bunch of this. No, wait, this. No, wait, this. So first I was going to order the men's department. Then the truck came early. The truck was supposed to come at 4. It showed up at 1:15. Or it showed up at like 1:10. And so it's like, oh, well, 4 o'clock is 3 hours early. All right, let's go, boys. And so then I was emptying the truck. But then before I started emptying the truck, they're like, we need you on register. So I said, okay. So I went to register. Then they said, just kidding, we need you on truck. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, one of those, yep.
Then like
hurry up and do everything.
Finally truck gets emptied and we're like, okay, cool. And then they were like, okay, now go order. And I'm like, okay. And so I ordered. And then I went to lunch. And then I got off of lunch and I was on register. But then the person came up and said, hey, could you order this other department that you've never been in before? And I'm like, sure. But also you're one of the backup cashiers and you have to do that too. And it's like, okay. And it just was long. And my legs are tired. My knee popped, which helped make it feel better, but it reminded me that I am in fact a crotchety old man.
Get off my lawn!
Noises. Yeah. But in the meantime, I started working on things that are. I started working on the new story thing that I'm thinking of writing, which was fun.
Are you going to share some of that tonight or no?
I can. I just need to not. If I share, I need to make sure that I'm not. That I don't think, there, I've done the work because I've shared it. You know, like what happens. Like what happens with ADHD people. They come up with stuff, they work on it, and then they share what they worked on, and that satisfies the little urge, and they never work on the thing again. So I just need to make sure that doesn't happen.
Why did you just call me out like that?
Bruh. It's all of us. Every one of us.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. We have Joel, and I can share stuff maybe potentially. But I shared some of my app stuff that I think I shared yesterday or Tuesday. But like I can do a story if people want me to. Just depended on how many we had showing up. So, do we want to do Brendan or Joel now? What do we say, people?
Do Joel. I need to get a drink. Joel, okay, or you. Joel. I need to get a drink.
Cool. I can do Joel. Let me grab this now. Moving you guys over so that I can do it this way. Okay. And I put it in the chat. I don't know if he made it public or not. So if it isn't, sorry. This is 37, Rescue. You're almost at the jump point. Starlet's broadcast broke Kira's free from her tormenting memories. Are you with me? Kira thought back. I will not leave you. We must save him. Starlet kept most of her feelings out of her message. Transmitted or not, Kira knew what she was feeling. Kira's reply was opening herself to let Starlet feel her gratitude and her honest pain. It was against everything she had ever been taught to admit weakness, but right now she needed Starlet. It had to be Starlet. She could trust no one else with this. They would all try to stop her. Only Starlet would allow her to push herself, and only Starlet would understand. The doors slid open, and the mechs lined up. Are we jumping at this speed? Are we jumping at this speed? Tony asked from the seat on the back of Booster's mech. They are. We will wait until the second pass, Booster called back. Things are going to move fast once we jump. Let us worry about the fighting. Stay between us and spray him down with that can I gave you. Got it, Tony said. Go, yelled Starlet through the mech speakers. Both her and Kira's mech jumped out of the speeding craft that swung up and then looped back. This is astonishing. It seems one of the zombies is defending our fallen hero, the anchorwoman was now broadcasting with her cell phone. Following her lead, the cameramen were recording the events as best they could. She continued to narrate into her microphone as the swarm closed around Fox's body. 2 people seem to have recovered and are shielding him with their bodies, and a third is valiantly fighting as many as he can, but it doesn't look like it will be enough. Who was our mysterious hero? We may never know. It seems, however, that his heroic deeds have roused at least a few of these sick individuals, and it seems there may be hope for the city yet. We can only... She ducked as the planet runner roared past. Swinging her camera phone, she tried to catch the large armored figure falling from the sky. Just before it slammed into the ground, it sprouted a pair of wings, then tucked into a spinning, glowing ball that streaked towards the ground. With a massive crunch, the ball smashed onto a truck, bounced and zoomed down the street. Racing between the cars, the glowing ball burst as the armored figure uncurled. Sparks flew in all directions as it slid down the asphalt. With a massive kick, it sent all of its momentum and energy into a car, sending it somersaulted down the road, flattening entire rows of bodies. A second armored figure followed, opening a set of wings earlier to slow itself. Landing at a run, it drew 4 blades and sprinted down the path opened by its predecessor. Standing, the first opened fire with a shoulder-mounted minigun as it ran towards the chopper. Let's see. Something new has come. I have never seen an aircraft like that, and whatever these things are, they mean business. They seem to be heading straight for my cameraman, the news anchor continued. Get it! Here it comes! Get a shot of it! The planet runner had come around much slower this time, its 4 turret guns blasting away at the sea of walking corpses in the street below. As it came overhead, a third armored figure dropped and flared a pair of wings, slowing to a soft landing. Now there are 3 of these robot things. They're closing in on my cameraman. They are, they are going for the man that pulled us from the wreckage, she said as if she had forgotten he was still lying there. I can hear other helicopters closing on our position. We may be saved after all, as long as these new things don't get us first. They seem to be set on killing the people in the street, and now they are. One of them is opening up. It's... She leaned over the edge of the truck and craned her neck to see into the suit. It's empty. Disappointment filled her voice as one of the armored suits opened up, exposing an empty cockpit. She scowled and rolled her eyes. Figures. Kira was the first to reach Fox. She threw off several corrupted, including the protective bodies Starlet had positioned over him. Though they had helped protect his body, his arms and legs were still bloody underneath the melted armor. She bent over, not wanting to touch him with her clumsy armored hands. Tony jumped off of Booster and ran over. He rolled Fox onto his back and lifted the visor of his helmet. To their relief, they saw the helmet had done its job and his head was unharmed. The rest of his body was burned and charred. "He looks pretty bad," Tony said over the comms, but he is alive. I think he will have a good chance if we can get him back to the hospital fast. He started to spray down every wound he could see with the foam. "Screw it," he mumbled, covering the whole body. Sobbing in her armor, Kira kept fighting, keeping him covered as he worked on Fox. The corrupted pushed harder, grabbing towards the fallen champion. A woman crawled under the swinging blades, inching her way under Kira's mech. Her fingers closed on Fox's neck. Thud. Starlet brought the Stomper's foot down, crushing her head. Starlet and Kira had checked on Fox, but not Booster. He was used to being the first wave. Sitting on the sidelines, this whole fight had been grating his nerves. Now he was making up for lost time. He stabbed the first corrupted he came to through the face, then spun and nailed another with his blade. He whirled and sliced, splattering blood and brains everywhere. Picking up one of the helicopter's rotors, he swung it like a giant sword. With one mighty four-armed swing, he knocked over 10 bodies. "Hey, these are not sharp," he complained, disappointed when they weren't sliced in half. I thought they were called blades. Wielding it masterfully, he plowed through the hordes reaching for him, but he went back to his suit swords on his lower arms. He stabbed, blasted, and stomped the life out of every corrupted in his reach. As he moved, he left piles of bodies in his wake. He planted himself between his captain and the largest mob of corrupted. The corrupted swarmed from the buildings, moving faster than ever. They rushed the mechs and climbed up the arms, slowing their movements. Kira swung her swords, slicing through heads, trying to keep them away from her charge. Starlet's mech, ammo long expended, stood over Fox. Her forearms stabbed frantically, trying to keep him safe. Tony was supposed to keep Fox in the empty mech suit, but the horde was too thick. Starlet couldn't stop fighting long enough for Tony to get him in. He shot a corrupted that tried to climb onto Starlet's back. Fingers closed on his shoulder. He dove forward, rolling on his back next to Fox. He aimed up at the man trying to grab him. Kira's mech spun, slicing the man in half. The man continued to crawl forward, snarling. Tony kicked him away, then fired 2 shots into his head. He climbed to his feet and spun around, trying to look in all directions for the next threat. A chopper roared overhead. Kit and Hammer both landed nearby, using their wings to slow their fall. Without hesitation, they began attacking the sea of corrupted with a vengeance. Kit had a sword in one hand and a submachine gun in the other. He sliced once, then shot a burst, getting multiple headshots before slicing again. As Kit's gun ran out of ammo, he spotted Fox's sword lying on the helicopter wreckage. Its blade hung off the edge of a piece of door. Letting the bungee strap pull, Kit let his SMG go to his back. He stomped on the end of the sword, sending it flipping into the air. As it reached the peak of its arc, Kit plucked it from the air as if someone had handed it to him and swung it downward into the head of a corrupted. Hammer had his large rifle up. He fired 3 bursts, then smashed the wooden butt into the nearest corrupted's head. Its skull crunched. He smirked as he slammed a fresh magazine in and resumed firing. "This is where we save the day, yes?" Hammer said in his thick Russian accent, so I can do that next time. Got it. Hammer, Russian. Kit and Hammer fought their way to the others. Booster swung the helicopter blade, knocking a large gap in the crowd. Starlet finally lay her stomper down next to her injured father, letting Tony carefully lift Fox into her mech. He strapped Fox in gently as he could. Picking up his rifle, he climbed onto the back of Starlet's armor, giving her cover the best he could. "Hey, what about me?" yelled the cameraman, stranded on the car. Booster moved over and pointed to the open seat on his back. Catching the hint, the guy climbed in and held on tight. Activating their shields, Kira and Starlet linked them together. They glowed bright orange. The two mechs charged as one, making a dash to the side of the truck, parting the sea of swarming bodies. Kit and Hammer followed right behind, with Booster bringing up the rear. Kira stood against the truck, letting Kit and Hammer run up her body and jump onto the truck. Then they helped Tony and the camera guy. As Kit got to the top of the truck, he had a cell phone shoved in his face. Who the heck are you?" he demanded. The reporter ignoring his question. The reporter asked, ignoring his question. "Kit, as a leader of Loom Corps, do you have any comment on the events that have unfolded today?" What, like I told you so?" he scoffed, slamming a fresh mag into his SMG. "Is a Loom Corps attack just using the meteor as cover?" What is this, lady?" Hammer asked. You tell them to go and they no go. Then you try to save them and they blame you. In my country, there will be no questions. We tell them to go, they go."
Read that for me again.
What'd you say? Read that again?
Yes.
"What is this, lady?" Hammer asked. "You tell them to go and they no go. Then you try to save them, they blame you. In my country, there will be no questions. We tell them to go, they go." Then she says, "Is this a Russian bio attack?" She tried. They ignored her. The three stompers power jumped onto the trailer, rocking it with their landing. "Is there a cure?" She tried, pointing the cell camera at the mechs. "I wish there was," said Kit. "Turn those off. Our ride is here." The Planet Runner came into a low hover next to the truck, lowering a ramp. Starlet ran over first. Then Kit picked up the injured pilot and followed, herding the news crew into the back corner with Hammer's help. Last came two mechs. Kira and Booster opened their faceplates as soon as they were in. Booster took two large bottles out of a compartment and threw one to Kira. She downed it in 3 gulps, then hurried to Fox as they lifted off. Hammer ran to the door and jumped. Starlet and her mech lay down. The chest hissed as it opened. Mindful of his injuries, Tony and Kit took their time unstrapping their injured friend. Kira watched, the fur under all 4 eyes wet with tears. Booster took a position to block the view of the cameras. That wasn't going to stop the pushy news lady. And he says, "This is a longer chapter. Here's a good stopping point." So I'm going to stop there. So there we go.
Taking notes definitely helped me.
Good.
I will say.
Good. Wonderful. So
we took notes and things I can share. That's awesome. I'm doing this from now on. This is awesome.
Good call. So what do we think?
I'll let Brendan go first. You're muted.
It's okay. He said why or something like that.
Why though?
Why though? He tired.
I can go first if you need me to.
I hate the reporter.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the point. Wait, do you hate the reporter as a person, or do you hate her as a character and inclusion in the story?
I will say the inclusion. I'll let him go.
Well, as a character, her inclusion in the story is like, okay, you have someone there, you have whatever. There are some reporters who absolutely would capitalize on this kind of situation. They would do that, right? But when I was working at the news station, they told us our safety was number one priority. The story is not important, not more important than your life. Right. So there's a certain amount where I'm sitting here going, this is not believable. You're an absolute bloody idiot. And I hate you as a person, and I wish you would just shut the hell up.
Obviously not talking to Joel.
Not talking to obviously not talking to Joel, talking to the character. I haven't really been around, and so it was kind of disjointed. I'm sure if I read it in context, it wouldn't be that bad. But like, why is there a Russian? I thought they were aliens. What's going on?
Okay.
Is this
There are some people who are humans doing stuff, and there are aliens doing alien stuff, and they're working together. So yeah.
One of my notes.
I know this is rescuing Fox, but it's like it's just a lot of there's a point between when Starlet was like, I am going to help him, which was the last time I heard Red, and this that I missed. There's some stuff that I missed, so I'm missing some context. Okay. I don't mind the prose. I'm sure Joshua, you reading it, the fact that you're sight reading it basically is why there are some slip ups.
Yes, definitely.
That being said, I can't think of any specific examples, but that might just need some fine tuning, right? Just fine tune it a little bit here and there. The separation of dialogue action, that's fine. But sometimes I think it gets too, people are talking too much. And it's like,
gotcha.
Let's just let the action play out.
Yeah.
Right. Occasionally some banter's okay, but just let's get.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna get to my notes here. So it opened up, you had Kira and Starlet, and it's funny, I wrote Scarlet, and then I had to cross that out, Starlet.
Yep.
Okay, so, alright, so you had them, and it said their names, like, so much in the opening there. It was a lot. That was a lot. It just kept kind of going back, like, you kept saying their names. I noticed that I wrote down Kira and Starlet, or Kira and Scarlet, or Starlet 100 times. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. That was very noticeable from the get-go. And just objective observation there was a lot coming into this chapter because I don't have enough grounding. I don't know these characters well enough. But it was a very just emotional magic opening. It was very chaotic, kind of hard to follow in the beginning. Then that was probably the biggest thing for me, is not having enough to like ground. I'm not sure what happened leading up to this chapter. Right. And so I'm kind of lost in the fog for a bit. Like, I understand the fog. I understand what happened during the fog. But before that, I'm kind of at a loss. But that's on me for not being attentive. But it was good. I feel like I felt the emotional rise that was supposed to happen. Like, there's some buildup happening, and then these two characters are locked in, they're having their moment, and then you get to the fight. And I felt like that was really effective on that emotional level. The jarring, there was something towards the end of their moment where it mentioned Tony. I wrote question mark, who's Tony? Then it kind of split, and now we're jumping right into the action, and it's really frenetic and crazy. And I was just jarred. I didn't know who Tony was, so I was kind of lost there. But that's on me.
Slight bit of context overall. Obviously, like you understand, they're saving Fox. Both Starlet and Kira have complicated relationships with Fox. They are the two aliens in this situation. I believe everyone else that we're speaking of are humans that are part of the situation.
Kira human? Isn't Kira human? Who's the human girl that rescued her? Who's the human girl that Fox rescued?
The human girl that Fox rescued, the little one, or the one in the hospital?
The one in the hospital.
Her name was not Kira. I know that. I'm not remembering right off the top of my head, but I know Kira is one of the aliens. It has a apostrophe in it. Kira. Kira. I believe Kira, if I remember correctly, Kira is I could be wrong, but the sort of Fox's handler, like big time strategist lady, and then Starlet is the one that's like half breed malformed.
I know who Starlet is. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
The issue is Kira.
I don't believe Kira is human. I'm pretty sure Kira is Fox's handler.
Gotcha.
You can clear this up again, Joel. we've been gone for 2 months on Broodcast, so that's a lot of the big reason why we don't have the context. So
gotcha. Thanks for that. So even with that context, I kind of felt like it was a really jarring pivot, which is probably what he was going for. It was like, we only have so much time, we got to get to the action, so that's good.
Well, this is following their mounting a plan. So that's why there's frenetic action, right? Yeah.
We had a longer scene probably before this where they're inspiring in the war room, going over their plans.
Yep.
And then they have a big emotional moment and boom, we're out of time. We got to go. I like it. Now, I did not like as soon as the news lady came in, I was like, are we in? I had a hard time visualizing a good chunk of it. Like, I could feel like it would benefit from having a bit more sensory detail, a bit more scene description, like paint the picture for me a little bit. Because I could see the characters. I feel like I could tunnel vision on the character, but I can't like zoom out and I can't see the bigger picture of what's happening. Like I see their actions and what they're doing, and like that's described well.
And it's in a city. You can tell it's in a city.
Like, I kind of get that it's in the city, and it'd probably help if I if I was more familiar with the story leading up to this point. But I did just notice there wasn't a whole lot of like sensory description or scene description. Where I couldn't I could see generic cityscape hordes of enemies coming in and you're swiping at them, and I guess that's really all you need for the scene, but it's just kind of I'm having to do that as a reader a little bit coming into it. It's like I'm kind of projecting what I can to make sense of that scene and make sense of those actions that are being described. It was kind of hard for me to figure out how many characters we were dealing with. In the get-go, I counted Kira, Starlet, and before I get
he has
on
a lot of characters.
There's a lot of characters. That's kind of I need time to get familiar with all of them. So that's just me. That's not on him. But it really felt like at a time I needed the sensory descriptions. I needed some more sensory descriptions. Like, what are you physically like feeling to ground me into that scene so I could kind of, because it felt like people were doing things and floating in space.
I don't know. I didn't have that issue, but that's just, I guess.
Well, the other thing is, Daniel, I don't know if you remember a lot of the previous ones, but he's done a lot of heavy lifting for the city itself in previous chapters. Okay. So there's that.
Yeah. So that's probably on me.
But anyway, what other notes did you have, if any?
Just as an example of sensory detail, but no, because that's just me again. It's everything I'm seeing here. I'm having to look in the context of, well, I don't really know this story super well.
Did you like the action and stuff? Was it good action? You could see the action with the mech suits and everything.
The action was probably the highlight for me. The way he hits. The scene, the action descriptions were great. I think it could have used more weightiness, because if you pair those sensory details with your action, is like, okay, I know what you did, but what did it cost you to do that? Like, so you're pushing and you're exerting yourself. Is there a timer? Like, I kind of want to feel the exhaustion of like, we're gonna run out of time. We're gonna run out of time. I'm running out of stamina. I'm like, ugh. Like, and I'm having to take care of like 4 different things at the same time. I got this guy that I'm protecting. He's injured. Oh no, she needs backup. I need to like take care of like 4 different problems in that kind of a scene. And I just want to see more. I just want to see more of the violent part of it and how it affects and what it costs. It's like, what does it cost is what I keep coming back to. Is like, I'm seeing a really cool action scene, but every time that I watch,
I think the ticking clock. Yeah, I think the ticking clock comes in with Fox has like been the big hero this entire time so far, and he's dying, and everyone's having to band together to save him. And so if he dies, it's like a major player protagonist in the story is going to die.
Right. Yeah. I think even so, it might be something to note is like, I'm coming in as the outsider of the story. I want, if Fox is the timer, I want that to be pronounced. I want that to be like really a desperate thing that's on everyone's mind in this scene. I want that bigger.
You want to show?
I want that big.
Casey's got something to share.
I finished the one I did.
Go ahead, show.
Okay.
Right here, in front of my face. It's coloring page. She's been doing this today.
I saw it I saw that you shared it.
Yep. So that's sweet.
Yeah. I wrote the last thing is the quips and the dialogue are fire.
Yeah, he does a great job with that. The quippy dialogue and the fun action. So, yep. I do like what's going on with Kira and Starlet, and the way things are going in the story. I need to once again catch up with everybody else on who is who and get on a lot of that. I think I have a better idea of what's going on narratively, especially with Fox. I did feel the weight of him being in trouble, and everyone banding together to save him. I really did enjoy that. There are a couple spots where you missed an article or something, like an A or a the or something of that nature, but you can very quickly scan for those. You know what you're doing, Joel. So, yep. Okay. Well, I have one I can do real quick, or 2 because they're short. Once again, Beauty and the Big Dog ones, and we can probably wrap if we don't get anybody else. It's 10, and we can talk. We can do whatever. So let me. I'm just gonna copy paste this. Go ahead.
I mean, you also have my thing.
I forgot. Why did I forget? Do you want to go next or me?
I don't care.
I'm more interested in what you're doing.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, there's not much. After Jesse's conversation the other night about drawing, it got me itching to like do stuff. A lot of
Aaron backs. Okay, Aaron's back.
Oh, it's just Aaron. Yeah, good job, Brendan. Way to phrase that nicely. That wasn't what I meant at all. Anyway, so it got me like I didn't want to jump in on the Unbound, which is Simon Alexandra and Company. I wanted to work on something else first. Not like I know that I can do that forever. So I have to like set a hard limit at some point and just work on their story eventually. Just like actually do that and make it. But I wanted to I just wanted to practice a bit more with something, not something that I don't care about, but something that I feel a little less, something that hasn't been like something that isn't like a precious gem that I have been like cradling and hidden in a deep vault somewhere.
Right.
You know. So I was thinking, trying to figure out what to do, and I had a couple of old D&D characters, and they had well, technically it's Pathfinder, but it doesn't matter. D&D characters, and I'm sort of noticing, like, you know, I like to do stuff with the Fae in D&D if I get the chance. And so I was like, two of the characters were clerics, basically, of the Fae gods, the Fae entities. They're called the Eldest. And I was like, you know, this is interesting. And so as I did some work, and and in between shifts today, not shifts, in between, like during my breaks, I was basically, I told AI, hey, your job is to ask me questions. And I basically had it ask me questions and figure stuff out. So the main characters that I've got are so the entire thing that I figured out so far, main characters are Yoshi, which is short for Yoshivara Measandra Coerthus Devantica. He has a very flourishy royal name. He's a young cleric of the Fae god of travel and mystery. He's neutral good for you D&D nerds out there. He's a genuinely kind and helpful, always smiling, but not in a toxically positive kind of way. He'll sit with the crying people and comfort them. He has healing and transportation magic. He gets a divine message: don't fear the one-eyed man. He does have limits to patience and will eventually snap if pushed too far. Backstory is currently undecided, may or may not include tragedy. And then that's character number one. Yoshi is my cinnamon roll, too pure and good for this world, and I love him. Then there's Blaze. Blaze is an oracle of the apocalypse, who worships basically the eldest god of time and endings, and also, but basically stuff. His entire magic is destruction. He can basically he just destroys stuff. That's just his shtick. And he has the visions of the apocalypse, which is actually the end of an era, not the world, but he can't tell the difference. So that's fun. He has lost one eye. He is the one-eyed man. He is actually kind, and his whole message is people should do good before the end comes, so that when the end does come, maybe the pain will pass by you, or the good will revisit back upon you. He sees magic and stuff. When he does lose control of his magic, he either hides in shame or gets defensively angry, depending on the context. He comes to respect Yoshi as someone who exemplifies what he preaches. And then I've got a trickster transmutation style wizard, who is all about who follows the Lantern King equivalent, who is the eldest god of trickery, mischief, and pranking, that sort of deal. He is an arcane magic user, so he's not a divine magic user. That is important for the story. He also has a smile, like all the time, like Yoshi, but for him, it's a mask to have people set their guard down against him, because he's a prankster, sort of. He uses transmutation, not illusions, because illusion tricksters are a cliche, and I don't want to do that. And then I also have sort of two very unfleshed out characters who are one is sort of one is a pseudo paladin witcher style character from one of the more well grounded and well respected religions, and the other is just an atheistic brawler. As far as the world building is concerned, all religion is outlawed, both like actual clerics and just straight up like worship not worship. That doesn't give you divine magical benefit. It's just religion is banned by the government because the government viewed it as destructive, crusades, religious violence, and or crimes committed in the name of religion, and they believe that science and reason is superior. Law, but as with any law, it's meant to be enforced everywhere, but they're not. So you know what happens. I mean, it started as a serious crackdown, but the farther out away you get from society, the less enforceable it becomes. There are also shadow creatures or some kind of monster that has appeared. They are not deliberately caused by the ban, but it's more likely that the ban just kind of weakened the defenses to allow them to enter in. I'm viewing these kind of like Heartless from Kingdom Hearts. And then there's a couple of things, other details. I want it to be episodic. Yoshi and Blaze meet first. Their sort of interaction is Blaze is like, look, these people are a bunch of fools. And Yoshi is like, yes, but they're kind fools. And yeah, just that's all I got, really. It's not much, but
it's something. I'm liking where it's going.
It's a fun little nonsense thing.
I got Yoshi. What was the other main character's name?
There's Blaze. Blaze is the only other character who has a name so far.
Blaze? Like a fire blaze?
Yes, but spelled differently.
Okay.
Are you doing BLAYZE?
BLEYS.
Okay, cool. I was wondering if you stole my sci-fi spelling of my character.
No, I got it from the Chronicles of Amber by Roger Zelazny, which is an amazing book series, and you all should read it.
Cool.
Okay. So Yoshi is the cinnamon roll, and then Blaze is like edgy edgelord.
No, he's not edgy edgelord. He's still kind. He does it nicely, but he has a vision that the apocalypse is coming, and he's trying to warn people, hey, this is about to happen. Y'all should get your crap together.
Okay.
Yep. Makes sense.
And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. He just doesn't understand it properly.
Right.
Yeah. Limited information. Okay.
He's overloaded with absolute terror, not necessarily terror, but like there's nothing anyone can do, but also like he's trying to help, and it's like complete overwhelm. Am I right?
Okay.
I mean, kind of, yeah. He's sort of like, oh, I've been given this. I think I get what's going on. I think I know what's happening. I don't know how exactly it's going to happen, but I know something bad is going to happen. So let's start warning people, because
what kind of relationship do they have? Like brother to brother, apprentice, master, mentor?
Oh no, they're traveling companions. They're not related to each other at all. Yoshi Yoshi is told, don't fear the one-eyed man by his god. He sees Blaze and goes, oh, that's the one. And then he goes, wait, seriously? You want me to go with him? You want me to go with that guy? And yeah. But he's like, okay. And he follows, he obeys. He's just, what?
And then they become the bestest buddy cops.
I mean, there are other characters too, but he is.
Well, yeah. I am going to take. Go ahead.
I didn't want to do just two characters because I feel like the more character, like too many characters is a problem, but two characters I think is a little too few.
I mean, you can have a Sherlock and Watson situation for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, real quick. While you guys talk, I'm gonna go ahead and use the restroom before I do mine. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm just saying there's a limited number of interactions like you can do. Yeah, you can hypothetically go a Lewis and Tolkien route, and one character is changing because of the other, and blah blah blah, and the other character is changing because of the first. And so I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm saying that you can get more interest by adding a third character in, which is why the trope of the 3-man band is so common. And Daniel's dead.
Sorry, I thought I could disconnect my phone physically from my my computer with it not doing anything, and I was wrong. But I heard everything you were saying. But yeah, 3-man band could definitely work. So like, what are the dynamics? You usually have like the leader, the smart one.
In the 3-man band, there's the hero, there's the lancer, and there's the heart. That is the standard trope as it is structured. The 5-man band has the hero, the lancer, the heart, the big guy, and the smart guy.
And then you can have the smart guy and the big guy kind of be like the lancer is typically also the big guy of the group, and then
not necessarily.
Or sometimes the smart one.
Not necessarily. I mean, frequently you will get interesting interactions where like the smart guy is actually really proficient at something. So let's take Avatar for example. Toph is the big guy.
Oh yeah.
Toph is the big guy. Sokka's the smart guy.
Yeah.
And people are like, wait, Sokka's the smart one? Yeah, Sokka's the smart one because he's the one who comes up with all the plans. He's the one who thinks on his feet best. He frequently like he can't bend, so he has to use his head. But he's still a good swordsman, right? He's trained by a master swordsman, and he does a darn good job. Thank you very much, right? So he's not like completely like he brands himself as a warrior, but from a story perspective, he actually fulfills the role of the smart one.
Yeah.
And so like in the dynamic, hypothetically, the way this is set up, Blaze is sort of the hero. Yoshi, no matter how I cut it, Yoshi ends up being the heart. He is the moral center. And he's also the, he kind of acts as a lancer, sorta, but
maybe it's not. I can kind of see where he would come in. It's less like he's out brooding, and maybe it's like, oh man, I can visualize that. I'm having trouble putting words to it, so I'm just gonna say words, and you correct. But like that sucks. I had a scoop of spaghetti, and I dropped my spoon because I got distracted. And horror movie.
Good job.
Yeah.
So,
I can visualize the scene where he acts as a lancer, and it's not like he's out in the middle of somewhere brooding. It's more of like, I believe in this, and I need to go do this thing.
So Yoshi is the moral heart, the center of the group, and he's the one who keeps, he's not the one who keeps everybody doing good, although he definitely does sort of like he leads the charge in that element because all of his stuff, like whenever conflicts arise, he's the one being who's always on support defense, right? But when Blaze loses control, Yoshi's like eventually when they get to a point where they understand each other, which happens feel like that actually happens relatively quickly because nothing drives me up the wall more than people who are like than an idiot plot where people don't talk to each other.
The miscommunication trope is probably the most annoying.
But when Blaze loses control and does damage, has collateral damage, Yoshi's like his default thing is assess situation, heal people, get Blaze out of that situation safely, and then intercede on Blaze's behalf with the other people. Basically going, look, it's not his fault. He wasn't trying to kill you. You're fine. Here's some money in exchange for here you can fix your house. He didn't mean to take your roof off. He was aiming for the bad guy. And then he goes and he basically just makes sure Blaze is okay, right? That's sort of his whole thing. The AI sort of phrased it as Blaze is concerned with their future, Yoshi is concerned with their present.
Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of how, in terms of what their missions are.
That's it.
Now, bearing in mind, these were D&D characters from completely separate campaigns, and so I'm trying to mesh two characters who never should have met into a story where they have met, right?
Right.
And so
they sound like they work well together. They play off well.
Yeah, they have a sufficient contrast that I think that I can make some great scenes with them. But yeah.
Do you have an idea of who's going to be your third?
There is a trickster mage who also worships a eldest that I have not played yet. I am considering making him. I really need to rework him though, because he originally was kind of he was a let's make a deal kind of character and basically like trap you in in the deal you make. Which is very devilish, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Less party member and more eldritch being wearing a skin.
Yeah, kind of. So I need to figure out what I'm doing with him. I've also got I have a couple of options, right? But the way it's panning out, the way it looks like it's panning out, the trickster actually might end up being the lancer if Yoshi is not the lancer, because there's no way the trickster's the heart of the group. There's no way that's panning out with the way he is in my head. And the lancer is the foil to the lancer is supposed to be the foil to the hero. The only other option actually is is you have the lancer be the atheist brawler.
Right.
Which might not end up being a brawler, but basically the guy who I traditionally have as the big guy, or who I originally planned as the big guy, or who would be a big guy, i.e. some kind of fighter with no magic, or if he does have magic, it's like highly limited, is the lancer, not because of his actual physical skill, but he's the foil to the apocalyptic speaker who saw the future and goes, yo, you're all gonna die. And he goes, why? Because why? I don't believe your God. I don't believe in your God. You know, like why should I listen to you? You know,
were you saying the fighter dude might fill?
If the fighter dude could be the lancer. So the core three wouldn't be the trickster. It would and Blaze and Yoshi. It would be the brawler, Blaze and Yoshi.
My mind went to making the fighter the heart. Like he's the prophet dude says, we're all gonna die, and the big guy says, yes, but it'll be fun while we do it. But
I don't know.
I mean, it'd be fun. It's always a fun.
Yeah, it would be fun. It's fun to mess with that, and I'm not saying it's not, but as was, like, In another universe, the paladin character would be the hero. The brawler would be the lancer. Blaze would be the big guy. Yoshi would be the heart, and the trickster would be the smart guy. So the big guy in that instance is the magic user who just blows everything up because he literally is an avatar of destruction in human form. But that's not but the story isn't revolving around your standard hero character fighting against the evil empire government thing. The story is more that's the other thing that I didn't mention because I'm clunky. The core concept is a fantasy webcomic style story with feel-good character moments, episodic structure, featuring characters adapted by Pathfinder but in an original world. So, the character moments are what's important. I kind of got inspired from this from a webcomic that I binged in 2 days. Because, that's a healthy thing to do.
There's worse things.
That's very, the problem with webcomics on the internet is you have to kind of play the fun game of, oh, what weird subculture are you? And it's the men, the main male characters are not incompetent. One is an emotional wreck who has been isolated because basically he's fear made manifest. It gets complicated, but don't worry about it. And then the other male character is a goofy, silly robot who, when he gets wet, turns into a murder machine. But when he's actually lucid, he's just a goofy, silly guy, right? So the men are goofy and silly, and the main female character for the majority of the beginning of the story is the competent fighter mage, who's out for revenge. So it's look, it's this side of the internet subculture,
That's the hole, that's the Tumblr hole they crawled out from.
Yeah, exactly. But
so annoying how they always think they're so creative with that same character.
But even with that though, they have really interesting, fun, interactive character stuff. Even with the cliche wokeness, we'll call it, for lack of a better term, there's a great moment where the fighter, the female character, who's this tough girl, finally meets up with the two guys she's been dragging around after they got separated, and she's been worried about them. And it's your stereotypical New Year's Eve, fireworks are going off, and she hugs them on her own volition for the first time. And it's a great feel-good moment that was built up appropriately, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I want this story to be about the characters, not about them saving the world. Right? And while I'm sure a bunch of people would argue that all stories should be character-driven, there's a difference between making a character-driven story that is focused, making a character-driven story where that is your intention going in, and making a character-driven story that is actually about you writing, you want to write a save the world story and you make it character-driven, rather than I'm trying to make a character-driven story. Right, I'm approaching this from a different way than I normally do.
Yep.
It's sometimes it's I want to write a story like this. Okay, now how do I make these characters really good? Because but I'm working in this framework. I don't know what my plot is. I have nothing.
Yeah. You're just figuring out the characters first, which is good. I like what you have so far. I'm interested to see how they play off each other, and how the what was it, the Eldritchy whatever thing, that character, what was his name? Or you didn't have a name yet. You didn't have a name.
He doesn't have a name. He's just the trickster right now.
The trickster, yeah. How the trickster ends up fitting into this situation is very interesting to me, because you have a really good buddy cop setup to begin with. So I'm interested to see how that all works.
Whenever the trickster comes in, he needs to be doing stuff separately from the group from a little bit. And we need to see just these two characters and their dynamic. And then he can kind of come in and be a nuisance to them at times before he joins.
Could do that. I don't know.
That's possible.
I know that Yoshi and Blaze are going to have their time together for a bit before we add a third. Whoever the third may be.
Well, I left a link to mine in the... I was editing it while I was listening just to make sure that people could see it. But I put it in the chat. If you guys want to see it, it'll be on the video too. Yeah, I went ahead and did 3. They're not super long, as you know, but it just seemed more like a complete short story. It's not the whole episode. It's kind of the first act of this 3rd episode we're on now. We're on the 3rd episode of World of Wrestling, Beauty and the Big Dog. So I'll go ahead and begin. Daniel, just so you're aware very briefly, this is the one with the older female wrestler befriending the younger male wrestler, and we just found out in previous episodes for both of you, I think, that he essentially had someone who he grew up with, who he technically proposed with a ring pop to at 16 years old. They were going to get married as soon as they were 18, and on homecoming game night, he made the choice to get thrown out of the game early to sit with her in the stands, and then he was too tired to walk home at her suggestion. They end up getting into a car crash and she dies. He ends up having some other problems, and eventually, after years of grieving, finds his way into wrestling. He's only 20 at this point. His name's Joshua Slater, and Jessica Valero is this person who just kind of found out his backstory, and she realizes, like, yeah, okay, basically, like, I wasn't interested in you at first, then you were being all mysterious, and now I understand why you were being weird, and so let's just work together and get you moving in your career, because I'm toward the end of mine, and let's work together and see what we can do. So that's kind of where we're at now. This first one's called Before the Show. Memphis, Tennessee, wrestling on Monday night, and Jessica Valero was more than ready for an exciting fight. She had some saunter in her strut as her protege walked beside. He'd insisted on carrying her bags, but that wasn't why she had pride. She loved hanging out with him and found him to be a true friend, and he'd continue her legacy when her career met its end. Truth be told, her injuries still lingered, but tonight they barely felt there. She couldn't wait to step into the arena, into that electrified air. $10 says I've got Ezzy tonight. We haven't matched up in a while. Do you think they'll book me tonight? Joshua said with a smile. They better book you, Jessica said, or I'm going to have to raise Cain. If they don't book their biggest rising star, they're a bunch of lame brains. They arrived where the locker rooms split, and Jessica turned, and it should be Anne smiled. Thanks for carrying my bags for me. You got class and style. Joshua blushed and turned to go into the men's locker room, and Joshua's blushing was almost enough to make Jessica swoon. But she held her composure, and someone came up wearing a headset with cord. You're Jessica Valero? He said, looking at his clipboard. Duh, what do you want, headset guy? Can't you see I'm about to gear up? Mr. Rothschild would like to see you in his office, and he requested there be no holdups. The next one's title, Will Stop at Nothing, is a play on Will Rothschild's name, Will Stop at Nothing. Anyway, entering William Rothschild's office was like walking into a case built for trophies and knickknacks that were strewn all over the place. Often he would spend more time organizing his precious prizes than booking matches or swinging deals. His job was covered by fake disguises. You wanted to see me, Will? You know I just barely arrived. Will smiled and rocked in his chair for a moment, feeling very alive. Ever since Jessica had hurt his daughter, who was unprepared to be in the ring, Jessica had to put up with this and many other unpleasant things. Jessica, tonight you have a special opponent, and I want you to be surprised. Seriously, Will, cut to the chase, it should say. Cut to the chase. How else will you screw up my life? Will feigned confusion with a maniacal glee, then said, it should be William saying that. Are you referring to little old me? Will eventually went on, and Jessica stared silently. You will be jerking the curtain tonight. You will be the first match on. So get yourself ready, Supergirl. Tonight you will be tested. If you are truly Supergirl, there's no way you can be bested. Jessica rolled her eyes at him and left at almost a run. She wanted to be geared up. So she wasn't left standing at the station. There shouldn't be a comma there. It should be a hyphen. But anyway. Third one, Jessica Valero versus mystery opponent. Jessica Valero had had many matches where the odds were stacked, but she never backed down from a fight and she never turned her back. Joshua wanted to come with her since she didn't know who her opponent was, but she told him she'd take on anyone. A Supergirl is what a Supergirl does. Jessica came first to the ring in her usual manner, then another theme song hit that made her heart begin to stammer. All aboard came the screaming music, and her eyes forced open wide. It made fear begin to rise in her chest and sucked away all her pride. 6'11" mixed martial artist Tony LaRue stepped on stage, and Jessica could not hide the fact that she was completely phased. The announcers on the TV side screamed how this was wrong, and compared how Tony's arms were as Jessica's legs were long. Jessica backed up into a corner as Tony smiled maliciously. Jessica had enough and went to dropkick his knee. She missed as he sidestepped her attack with ease. He grabbed her by the throat and she began to beg, "Please!" Just then, as if a red rocket was launched, Joshua Slater hit the ring. Trouble was being brought to Jessica, so trouble he would bring. He speared right into Tony's knee and Tony went down to 1. Josh bounced off the ropes and came back with fire, but Tony had this one. The bell rang in disqualification, and Tony LaRue grabbed Joshua Slater around his stomach and suplexed him onto his back. Joshua hit his head hard on the mat and was knocked for a loop. Then Jessica leveled Tony, and it should be a break there, in one insane fell swoop. Get away from him! Hold on, I just missed where... Okay. Get away from him. This isn't fair, she said as she hit him over and over with the flat of a steel chair. Security came running into the ring and separated the two. She ran over to Joshua worrying, not sure what to do. So there we go. That's what I got. Oh, you're muted, Daniel.
I didn't want y'all hearing me burping more, so
it's all good.
There's some part of my brain that I have to turn off whenever I'm listening to your poetry because it's like I don't even know what it is, but I can literally feel part of my brain. I have to turn the noise down.
Mm-hmm. Did you read along this time?
I did. That helps.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Let's see. Male versus female violence definitely makes me a little uncomfortable, but it is what it is.
Well, we had earlier they had a handicap match. It was 3-on-2. It was the tag team champions, which are both men, and the women's champion Kylie Starr, or was it Carrie Starr, whatever it was, versus Jessica and Joshua. And he was like one of the only people who would jump on her side because this was the boss, they're going against in this situation. And so, he's being terrible and he's going to be on his way out soon. The boss, spoiler alert, whatever. But this is like abuse of power, typical wrestling kind of thing,
Oh, yeah, no, I caught all that. It was just like what do I glean past that? Because that's an intended thing.
Yeah.
It's good. Like, I don't know. These are meant to be read like one after another, long form, right?
Yeah. Well, more or less, yeah.
More or less.
Yep.
I don't know what to say. It's good.
That's okay. That's okay. Brenda, did you have anything? That's all good.
You're you do poetry. It's poetic and poetry. So listen, I am not wording.
Nah, I feel that.
I have the hot. I don't. Everyone's like, oh, poetry has always been the highest art form, and blah 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 blah. And I'm sitting here going, I like the statue of David.
Yeah, I like it too. I can't do that.
I know. But my point is that like you're telling a story with verse, and it's cool. But like, if you want deeper critique, you're gonna have to go to someone else.
Yeah, totally. I understand. It seemed to make y'all's brains go burr like always, and so there you go.
It's different listening to a poet. It's just a different muscle, and I don't know. Yes. It's something you'd have to teach again. Like you'd have to.
Yeah.
Have a book.
What do you think I've been trying to do?
Just on how to just listen to it.
Yeah.
Because I'm expecting prose. I'm expecting something else, like it, but it's poetry. It takes a different muscle to listen to it.
Yes, it does. It does. If you think of it as me reading you song lyrics, it might help you.
Maybe
they're different. Song lyrics are different. I'm not saying they're not. They are, but that might help you with your muscles, so to speak. So. Alrighty. Well, I should probably go ahead and get the broodcast itself wrapped. Everybody be your family's bard. Do not turn to the right or to the left, and the Lord will be with you wherever you go. We'll see you next time in the trenches on Poets at War.
You too can be a part of Poets at War and the Brood. Just visit joshuadavidling.com/discord to join. We want you, soldier, to be part of the Poets at War family. For more information, visit joshuadavidling.com. Over and out.
God of song said